everybody, welcome back to TAZ's Wig Closet. This is Taz. I'm excited to show you a full review by popular demand of the Ellen Wille Storyville wig today. I have her in two colors to show you. We're going to talk about this style quite a bit, and I'm also going to show you how to relate to this style. So many of you have said, Taz, I love it on you and I've loved it on other people that I've seen, but when I get it, it doesn't look like that and I don't know how to make it work. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on that today. I'm wearing Storyville right now in the color Champagne Rooted. This was the first one that I purchased and I've worn it quite a bit. I haven't washed it yet. I've probably worn it 7 to 8 times for limited hours and it's holding up very well. I love this style. It's big, it's round, it's kinky, it's like a white afro. I love it. The beauty about this style too is that you can adjust this style according to your mood or your personality. It's totally adaptable. So don't be afraid of this style. Looking at the specs for Storyville, the front pieces here are supposed to be about 8 inches. And measurements kind of go out the window when it's this curly, but if you stretch them out, it's going to come right down below your chin. Now there's minimal layering on this style. You're going to have a crown layer and a nape layer, and together it's probably 14 to 15 inches. Storyville weighs about 3.2 ounces, so for all of this volume, it's very lightweight and it feels amazing, feathery light on my head. There's a temple-to-temple hand-tied lace front, and then it's open top, sides, and back. Let's take a look at that lace front. So the lace front is nicely done, true to Ellen Wille style. I've had 3 Ellen Wille Storyvilles and they've all been very consistent across the board in terms of the curl pattern, the lace fronts, and so forth. So that runs temple to temple, and that's going to give you some nice variable options for styling. And then you've got the open wefted top, sides, and back. We've established this really kinky, curly, chaotic curl pattern, right? So let's talk about how it feels. So when I put my fingers in here, it just feels like a very cloud texture. It's extremely fine. Each of the fibers are very fine and denier. They're silky and soft to the touch. So even though they're kinky and curly, I don't think that they're too dry. In terms of density, there is quite a bit of hair here, as you can imagine, but because the denier is so fine, it just feels very lightweight and very breezy. The shape of Storyville is more round and big, and you can tell where this crown layer meets the nape layer here. It gives a straight across effect, so there's not a lot of tapering to the style. It's kind of round and then squared off at the back. Now you would expect a style like this just to be loaded with thick, heavy permatease, and it's not. There is ample permatease on this style, enough to obscure wefting. So it's time to bring out my comparison today. So I have another color to show you. I have Ginger Blonde Rooted. This one is just right out of the box. I purchased this from Andrea at Wig Studio One. Be sure to go out to Wig Studio One to find all of the colors that are available on Storyville. So Ginger Blonde Rooted, another light blonde, but it'll be great to do a comparison. As you can tell, very, very consistent here in terms of style and texture. Let's take a look at the colors. So on the Champagne Rooted, we're looking at a medium and a dark honey blonde as the base color. And then it's very profusely highlighted with a platinum. And that really makes it very light and bright. So there's some variations of honey, some beiges, and some platinums in this beautiful Champagne Rooted. Champagne Rooted is neutral leaning cool in tone. Now taking a look at the Ginger Blonde Rooted, I think it's just as light and bright as the Champagne Rooted, but the colors are a little bit different. So it does start with a nice honey base, like a medium honey base color. And then what you'll find is a lot of like an amber gold, a light auburn is what you're going to find in there. A light auburn, almost a caramel brown. And then also you'll find some light pale platinum or ash blonde pieces in there as well. And that just really kind of neutralizes some of that auburn. So it brightens it up quite a bit. And this is definitely a warm tone. So looking at these side by side, they seem to be just as light in terms of being a light blonde, but here you've got a very warm tone and this one is leaning more ashy. Both of them are in a light to medium brown root. The rooting is more ashy in tone as well. On the ginger blonde rooted, so I could show you the inside of the cap here for Storyville. So there you're going to find your temple to temple lace front. Now that does not extend back into the ear tab, but the seams are very nicely done. Then you've got some open tracks underneath a mesh material there. Closed velvet ear tabs. Extended velvet nape with Velcro adjusters. There's a lot of stretch on this style. When it comes, it's average to petite average right out of the box. It's a true classic Ellen Wille fit. So next I want to just give you some tips and tricks on how to relate to your brand new Storyville style. So many of you have mentioned that when you get it home you just don't know what to do with it. And this little wig here, it's a beast. It's beautiful and you can tame this beast. But let's go ahead and put it on and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when you get it on, you know, you might feel like a burnout rocker or maybe one of those tasteless chia pets. But you can work with this and get it to look good. If you decide to keep it, then let's do a few things. The first thing that you want to do on this wig is to find a little bit of a parting space. Now, I typically like to part mine a little bit left of center. So I'm going to start at the lace front to divide the hair. Use the heat from my hand to just press in a little bit of part right there. Okay, so that's the first start because you want to know how you're going to be able to divide the hair around the face. If you can make it look nice around your face, that's 99% of it. Don't you agree? Is because that's how it frames your face is so important. I would suggest using a light silicone spray such as this Simply Stylin' silicone spray here. What you're going to do is spray some in your hand. And I'm going to dip my fingers in it and I'm going to coat those fibers that are around the face. I'm going to coat them. And I might need a little bit more. So that's what it's going to look like. Now, I'm also going to use my finger to create a curl pattern that I want. So I'm going to kind of twist this around my fingers. So I've got the silicone spray on. I'm going to twist it around my fingers and kind of hold it there. Leave it on there as long as you want. You could even put a curler in it. No heat, just a curler, and let it sit overnight. But when you release it, you're going to have a curl that is a little more manageable than the chaotic curls that it came with. Some people like to just let it go, like me. I love just to let this thing go and just be unpredictable and out of control. I love that about this wig. But if you're the type that you really want to tame this beast a little bit and make it a little more natural, you can customize it. So this has a lot of round volume all over. And if you're not a fan of the width of this wig, the easiest thing to do would be to take some clips and or some bobby pins and manage that volume a little better. If you have some blingy clips that you want to show, that's great. Or bobby pins the same color as the rooting of this wig really wouldn't show. So what I have here is just some plain straight bobby pins. And you can pin back this volume. So if you just take above the ear and kind of feather it back with your hands, pull gently, and then use that bobby pin to get down to the root, under the wefts even, okay? You're going to reduce the volume significantly on the sides. Let's do it on the other side. And so there you go. Now the nice part about just the plain old bobby pins, you don't have to be going for a particular style. If you don't want all the bling and all the clips that you can see, these kind of blend in. It's a very subtle look. You can pull the hair around the bobby pin after it's secured to obscure the bobby pins. But you see how that really reduced the volume on the sides. Without being over obvious. So you could always trim this as well. You could shorten the length. You know, there's plenty of hair here. The layering is perfect. You just need to bring it up a little bit. You could certainly have a stylist do that for you. Or if you just wanted to pull it all back and get it off of the neck. I've worn it like this. It's very easy to do. And it's cute and very cool. So even if you wanted a little more height on top to kind of balance out the volume on the sides and the back, you certainly could do that by just using a clip, bringing all the hair up into that clip. Who's getting an 80s vibe out of that? Your cool shades and things will fit so nicely between the ear and the ear tab. I really hope this was helpful to you today to get familiar with this style, and if you end up getting it and not sure what to do with it, if you plan to keep it, I gave you some tips on how to customize it to your preferences and tastes. Everybody have a great day. See you next time on TAZS Wig Closet.